how much has your lives changed in the last 6 months? Probably a lot, right? How much, if we relate that to your teams, has their lives changed professionally and personally in the last 6 months? And then let's focus it on the clients, and guess what? Their lives professionally and personally have changed probably a lot in the last 6 months as well. This is why part 2 of our 5-part series around really activating team performance, we're now focusing in this session about becoming laser focused on, you guessed it, team focus. Lately, I've been working with a lot of leaders throughout New Zealand, and their leaders, their business owners, and their executives. And we've been looking at their strategic plan and making sure they become very clear on where they're heading based on what's happening in the market today and what is looked at for moving forward. So what had happened, which was really interesting, I put the challenge out to them to look at their SWOT, and most of them had created that SWOT and that strat on a page 6 months ago, a year ago. And what I challenged them to do was relook at that SWOT with a key focus on the O and the T. So the O being opportunities, the T being threats. And I wanted to know how much that had changed. The interesting thing is, categorically, 100%, the O and the T had totally changed. In some cases, and this is what got me, was in 10% of those, their O and T changed by 90%. The rest were all between a change variable of between 60 and the 90%. Scary, because had they not been challenged to do that, they were going to look at their planning but still keep it based on that SWOT. Our challenge to you is to have a look at these practical tips we're about to share with you and look at how you can uplift your team focus and clarity.
So it's going to come as no surprise that our first practical tip is around the 30, 60 and 90-day planning. And if you've got these plans in place, that's great. Now is the perfect time to sit down with your team and to really look at what you've got in place. So what's sitting in there? What do you absolutely have to keep doing? What's sitting in those objectives that you might just need to reframe because the commercial environment's changed? And what's sitting in those plans that actually we need to stop doing? The direction that the business was moving in simply no longer, and those goals are just not relevant anymore. And if you haven't got these plans in place, there is no time like the present to sit down with your team. So do a brainstorm, understand what it is that needs to be achieved. And hopefully the business has done their organizational objectives and they're nicely aligned to where the business is going as well. When you're looking at those objectives, make sure you you break them down and put some detail around each of the objectives that you need to achieve in your 30, 60, 90-day plan. Pop them in a priority order. There's nothing like understanding what needs to be done first, second, and third, and of course, by whom. So wrapping in accountabilities when you're looking at your objectives is really important, helps people with clarity around understanding what's expected of them in their day. And last but absolutely not least, a favourite of mine is around the review process. It's great that you've got that 30, 60, 90-day plan, but making sure each of those milestones has that review process sitting in there so that any of those really small obstacles or challenges that pop up on a day-to-day basis for your people are actually being resolved on a really regular basis so they don't turn into huge obstacles then people feel overwhelmed to try and get through.
The key word I'd like to pick up there is overwhelm. There is so much around that overwhelm space. I'm hearing that on a daily, if not nearly hourly basis when I'm talking to different people in different organizations. The tips that Sara and I are sharing with you are practical tips. So you've got your 30, 60, 90-day plan, you've had your team involved. The key thing being that can still be overwhelmed because they're not drilling it down. They can't see when you're overwhelmed how to bring that down into their everyday. That's why our busy badge syndrome is just fueling out there. Our challenge to you is let's blow apart that busy badge and let's get our teams focused so they understand what they need to be connected to and be working on a daily basis. So what we recommend that you do is with your team, you look at your 30, 60, 90-day plan, you take your 30 days and you break it down even further. You look at what do we need to do in the next 5 days, the next 14 days, and the next 21 days. When you've got it down to that level of detail, that means every week you can reset and set the priorities and the boundaries and everything that everyone needs to work within in that next 5 days. Then come to the end of that 5 days, you can look back, you can review, you can reflect, and then reset for the next 5 days. What this does, and you've heard it before from Sara and I, we want your team members involved in everything. True leadership is about inspiring, and aspirational leadership is about making sure that we're authentic, but we bring our team members along with us. You do that together. You don't tell them what they need to be doing. You have a dialogue that's two-way, and you shape up what does the next 5, 14, 21 days look like? Because when you become laser focused on what you should be doing right here, right now, overwhelm goes down and you're more likely to achieve your 30, 60, 90 days.
No surprises. Our challenge for you this week is to take your 30, 60, 90-day plans, if you've got them, and to review them. So really understand what you need to keep doing, what you may need to refocus on, and perhaps what you need to stop doing just to match those commercial expectations. And then once you've got that 30, 60, 90-day plan, really looking at those 30 days. So as Kirsten's just talked you through, the 5, the 14, and the 21 days, making it crystal clear around what the expectations are of people on a day-to-day basis. It also does help get rid of that busy badge, as we've talked about, but it just helps us feel really achievement oriented and like we're actually achieving something at the end of every day. So once again, thank you for listening to us on our Friday Fuel. If you've got any topics or questions around culture or leadership or high performance, we would love to hear them. Pop them in the box below, and we look forward to connecting with you again next week.